shooting happened here on Macaulay Avenue, right here in front of Mary's Bar and Grill. So far, the heartbreaking scene has left 17 people injured. You can already see people in the community have come out. They've started to leave flowers out here for those who were injured in this devastating attack that also left 3 people dead. And today, we were out here all morning and afternoon learning the details of the tragic attack. Dozens of shots heard on camera from a shooting that left 3 dead in downtown Chattanooga.
I think they said they had a party in their car shot.
It happened here on Macaulay Avenue in front of Mary's Bar and Grill after 14 people were shot and another 3 were injured by cars fleeing the scene.
3 fatalities have been confirmed, 2 of which are related to gunshot wounds and 1 of which is related to injuries sustained after being struck by a vehicle.
CPD Chief Celeste Murphy says multiple shooters were involved with a variety of guns, but no suspects have been identified.
We ask that anyone with information related to the incident, regardless of how small and insignificant you may think that it is, to please reach out to us.
Several victims left in critical condition, one of them a child, fueling growing concerns in Chattanooga after another shooting last weekend in downtown injured 6 teenagers.
Chattanooga will not tolerate this in our community. Our city will put a stop to this.
At a second presser, Mayor Kelly says federal authorities are now involved in the investigation, and he called for new federal gun restrictions.
Mandatory background checks and prohibiting high-capacity magazines that allow shooters to hurt dozens of people.
Their assistance after an all-time high 164 shootings last year in Chattanooga. That number was in decline with only 30 shootings year to date until the recent mass violence, making it the city's #1 priority.
Chattanooga will treat this like the crisis that it is.
A senseless and unnecessary tragedy. That's how CPD Police Chief Celeste Murphy describes the shooting that took place behind us on Macaulay Avenue. In light of this recent violence, Chief Murphy says one short-term response will be a heavier police presence this summer and a quicker police response in certain situations. 2 mass shootings in Chattanooga just a week apart.
You're going to see more of a heavy presence of us being more visibility in these areas and having a quicker response to maybe mitigate those situations turning to violence.
Chattanooga's new police chief, Celeste Murphy, says officers will respond quicker to crowds blocking streets, like in front of Mary's on Macaulay in this viewer video. That's where, on Sunday, 14 were shot and 3 died on Macaulay Avenue.
What's challenging is that we want to bring resolution as quickly as possible to the victims and the families. But we've got to comb through a lot of evidence.
The restaurant 618 identified one of those killed as their employee, Darian Hickson, and shared this photo of her.
Classified as a senseless and unnecessary tragedy. And I'm doing everything in my power to make sure that we don't have anything as tragic as that again.
The weekend before, 6 teenagers rushed to the hospital after a shooting near one of the city's most popular attractions, the Walnut Street Bridge. Chief Murphy confirms all the victims are still alive.
When it's dark and it's late and there's nothing for that age bracket to entertain them, just hanging around outside is sometimes a recipe for disaster.
One juvenile suspect is in custody. Police are still searching for another.
And it's just best for the guardians and the parents of children that age to know where they are or be with them.
We asked whether gang violence may have played a role in either of these shootings.
And we're looking into those leads. It's just too early right now in the investigation to definitively say that.
A challenging couple weeks in Chattanooga that Chief Murphy says she won't let define the city. What's the message you want to leave with the community in the wake of these 2 tragedies?
To please hang on to hope.
As lawmakers and city leaders debate how to move forward after mass gun violence, this message to the hundreds who have weighed in on solutions.
It's time to shut up and listen to them. A lot of times we try to tell them what it is that they're feeling. No.
The young adults in this room expressing their thoughts in a roundtable hosted at Brainerd High School. Several attendees sharing how gun violence has touched them directly.
My little cousin, 15 years old, coming out of 8th grade, summer of 9th grade. Got gunned down.
Unsafe, scared, and disappointed. Just some of the words used to explain their feelings about gun violence in the city.
How many of y'all do not feel safe? Raise your hand. Do not feel safe.
Right, that's the majority of everybody.
Discussion today about both root causes of the violence and solutions.
It's way too easy to go buy guns. Like it's harder to get your driver's license than it is to go buy a gun. Wow. So I think there needs to be stuff to prevent that.
It's not really like gun control, but it's like the control of oneself. And like, even if you do take guns off the street, it's still like, now it's a power balance. And
one of the things that we are sorely lacking in our community specifically, and especially among younger people, is conflict resolution skills. We don't know how to manage conflict.
Hamilton County Juvenile Court Judge Philyaw with this message. He's asking these young men to share.
How many of you have heard something like, oh, you're just a juvenile, nothing serious is going to happen to you if you end up getting in trouble? Have any of you heard something like that? Some of you have. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Let me tell you, it's a myth and a lie. Don't you let a temporary issue or a temporary situation become a permanent problem. There are long-term consequences to our actions.